Most people lose money on gold because they're trading it like complete clowns. You see, the thing is, I don't. I wait for one simple candle close a day without indicators, without over trading, and without the trade for 4 hours a day nonsense. I wait for one simple candle, and today I'm going to show you the live proof of the exact strategy that has allowed me to make the easiest $1,000 days of my life. And as you guys can see here, for the month of November, we are currently up 7K with about a 78% win rate. And these are my trade logs for each day. We're currently averaging about 1K a day, which is pretty sound if I do say so myself, for only trading like 10 minutes a day. But as you can see, we had a 1.6K day here. We had a losing day here. Pretty rough day here, but of course we just keep winning, so it makes up for the losses. And that is exactly what I preach. Just trade your system, don't worry about the losses. As long as your system has a mathematical tested edge, all you have to do is execute and let the edge play out. But before we head into the charts, let's go ahead and break down this strategy. Most important of all, you're going to have gold up on the charts. So step number one is to open up gold on TradingView or MT4, whatever you prefer. And step number two is going to let the daily range close out. It is absolutely important that we're using the previous day's candle. And what we're going to do with that previous day's candle, we're going to take our fib tool with these exact extensions and measure the previous candle so we can then trade these setups. So step number one, open gold. Step number two, identify the previous day's range from high to low. And step number three, draw out the fib. All right, so now for the trade criteria. Like I said, we're only using one candle, and in the case of buys, you're going to be setting your entry at the open of the candle with your take profit at the 1.1 level, with your stop loss at the 0.9 level. And for sells, we're just doing the exact opposite. We're going to let price run the low, have our entry at the low with our take profit at the negative 0.1 level and stop loss at the 0.1 level. So it's the same setup on both ends, just inverse. It's very simple, guys, but let's go ahead and look and see what's going on the lower time frame, which you can see here. This is about a 15-minute view. We have this previous day range followed by the current day range. And on our previous day range, we have our fib outlined from low to high. And simply in that next candle, we want to let price enter our position and simply set our take profit for the 1.1 level. And this was an easy 1 hour trade. And if we come to the right here and we look at a bearish example, we have our fib outlined on the previous day range from high to low. And we're simply setting our order at the low with a take profit at the negative 0.1. Now in lifetime, it's important to understand you're going to have orders on both sides, and whichever side gets hit first, you're going to cancel the opposing side. So in this case, if your sell was hit, you're going to simply cancel this order, and you can set up MT4 to do this all for you. In fact, this is very easy to set up on an EA, and that is what we are working on now. So this thing can scale my account in my sleep. And of course, once take profit is hit, it doesn't matter what price does in this current day range. We just want to simply wait for price to come to this line, which is going to signify the next day's open. And then after that, we're simply going to rinse and repeat. So now that we have a simple understanding of the strategy, let's head to gold now. So the first thing we have to do is have gold up on the daily time frame. And after we do this, we want to scale down to the 15-minute just so we can clearly see the ranges forming within the daily candles. And what I've done here is set up an indicator that shows the previous day close as well as the current day close. So everything is condensed into this view so we can cleanly observe price action and see how price is reacting at the levels. So we'll let this range close out there. Boom. And the first step is going to be to outline our levels, and that is going to be from high to the low of the range as such. Okay, it looks like as soon as price opened there, we went ahead and entered the trade at the high, with the stop loss being at the low, take profit at this blue line here, which is the 1.1 level. We'll simply observe price to see what happens. So price has stopped us out as soon as we get entered, which is no worries. So we'll go ahead and denote this as a -1 RR. And what we're going to do throughout this video is journal the trades, just so you guys can see how the edge plays out. Journaling is absolutely essential when you're backtesting. It allows you to physically see the data, see if your system has an edge. And of course, you can continue refining from there. I highly recommend you guys go all in on backtesting. I personally don't trade a strategy unless I have over 1,000 trades backtested, which allows the probability to settle out over time and give me that true win rate that I'm looking for in a system. But of course, you have a -1 there, it's no worries. So what we're going to do now is let the range finish out. Okay, so the range is almost done here. So what we'll do, we'll adjust our fib levels to the high and low of this daily range. And again, this can all be viewed on the daily candles, but for the sake of backtesting, we're going to be staying on the 15 minutes so we can observe price action. We'll fix that up here. And now we want to let price play out. Okay, it looks like we got entered there. So what we'll do, we'll place the long at the high, the stop loss at the 0.9 level, followed by a take profit at the 1.1 level for about 1 hour. And we go ahead and bang the trade for 1 hour. So in our journal here, go ahead and denote a +1 RR. Come back to our chart. We'll get rid of this and we'll let the range finish out. And keep in mind, guys, whatever happens after the trade is complete is completely irrelevant. We just want to let price reach this line here, which is just signifying the daily close. Okay, so we're approaching the end of the range. So what we'll do, we'll go ahead and get our fib levels ready, with the low being right there and the high at this level here. Okay, perfect. So that candle has closed, and now we just want to let price play out. And keep in mind, you're gonna have both a sell limit and a buy limit ready. So that way, if price hits this level or this level while you're away from the charts, the other order will cancel out. So let's say if the buy gets hit, your sell will cancel, or if the sell gets hit, your buy will cancel. So this way the strategy is fully automated. You just have to show up for the first 5 minutes at the daily close at 5 p.m. Place your trades and head off the chart. So this is perfect for the 9 to 5ers. Quickly observe the charts for 5 to 10 minutes, place your orders, and have MT4 cancel out the opposing order. In fact, we're actually working on coding this into our EA, so this system can print while we sleep. Of course, that's not the point of this video. We just want to be mechanically testing this, just so you guys can trade this for yourselves on your own. And in fact, if you guys are interested, I do have a full 1 candle playbook going over profitable 1 candle strategies that only take around 5 to 10 minutes a day to trade. Link is in the description if you guys are interested. It's completely free. You might as well grab it for yourself so you can apply them to your trading to see instant results. But anyway, we want to continue back testing here. So we have our range outlined and we'll let price play out. Okay, so we did not get entered there. So we're just going to let price do its thing. We instantly run that low, and what happens afterwards, we hold this level here and we instantly hit that 1-to-1 R, which is perfect. So what we'll do on our journal here is denote that +1 RR, and we'll just go over a few more examples. We'll delete this and we'll let the range finish out. Perfect. So the range is now complete. We'll go ahead and drag our fibs as such at the high, followed by the low. Okay, no entry there. Just let price play out. Okay, so there's no entry on this day. No worries at all. We'll just continue trading. We'll show up to the chart the next day, rinse and repeat, and that is the exact game we're playing here. So as soon as the daily candle closes, we instantly go into profit. You would have witnessed this live as you were placing your trades, which is awesome. So no stress for the rest of the day. You simply made your profits, and now you're off the charts until price reaches this line, aka the next daily close. So we have another 1 R there. So we'll go ahead and document a +1 RR. So we'll go ahead and delete this and we'll let the range finish out. Okay, so the range is about complete. So now we can identify our levels, the high and the low of this range. All right, let's see. Okay, so we get entered there. So again, just for visual sake, we'll place the entry there at the low and the high. And keep in mind, guys, these lines here actually denote the positions in itself. Black line being the entry, blue line being the take profit, and the red line being the stop loss. So you can actually see everything without these positions here. But I'll go ahead and outline these just so you guys can have the visual of what it looks like. So that's going to be another +1 R, +1 RR, which is beautiful. And again, you're simply sitting on your hands until price reaches the next daily close. So we'll get rid of this. Okay, the range is about to close out, so we can now identify our levels at the high and the low of the range. Okay, so again, we have our entry here. Go ahead and place the trade. And looks like we are stopped out here for a -1. So we'll go ahead and denote that on our journal. Delete this, and we'll go over a few more examples here. Okay, the range is about to close out, so we'll outline it from high to the low of the range. Okay, and as you guys can see, that would have been profit there with the entry there, stop loss there, take profit there. So we'll go ahead and add the +1 RR, delete that. Okay, so the range is about done. So we'll set our fibs at the high and the low of the range. And of course, we want to let that next candle print just so the daily range can close. Okay, yeah, it looks like we would have had our entry as soon as we entered the charts. So that would have been very convenient with a 1 R trade. So now plus 1 RR. Go ahead and get rid of that. And we'll let this next range finish up. We'll do 2 more. Okay, looks like I should already have an idea of how this range is going to form. So we'll go ahead and place the levels as such. Let it finish out. Okay, yeah, so the range is about complete. Now we have our clear levels. Wait for that current day range to finish forming. Okay, yeah, there it is. So we're gonna hit that right there. Obviously we wanna place a trade with these same levels we talked about, and that is gonna be a -1. So we'll get rid of that and now throw that in there. Now we have this next range that we now want to test, the high and the low. Okay, and as we can see there, price went on to hit TP. We held that red line there and we went right to that blue line for a profit of 1 to 1. So another +1 RR. So now that we're back on the charts, we'll get rid of that and outline our next range, with the high being right here and the low of the range right there. Zoom out a little bit there. Okay, so we instantly hit take profit with our entry being right here, stop loss this red line, and take profit at this -0.1 level for another profit of 1 to 1. So that's gonna be another +1 RR. So that about wraps it up for this backtesting session. So we took about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wins with only 1, 2, 3 losses. So all in all, we went 5 for 8, which is averaging over a 60% win rate. And of course, over time, it's going to end up more in the 70 to 80%. But in this backtesting session, it did about 63%. And I want to be fully transparent with you guys. That is what this sample size of data has presented to us. And if you do this over 1,000 trades, you get the true win rate, which is about 70% on average. But again, I want to be fully transparent. I highly recommend you guys backtest this for yourself. It's pretty fun to backtest. If you guys want the indicator that I set up on this 15-minute chart, just let me know down in the comments. I'll shoot it over to you. And also, if you're interested in that one candle playbook, again, the link is in the description. It's completely free. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.